Alrighty.
Oh my God.
Just happened? What did we just witness?
I don't know. I actually do not know what we witnessed. That was crazy. Absolutely bonkers. 23 offensive players going in the first round of the NFL draft. That is a history-making type of NFL draft that we've never seen before, which is absolutely exciting.
Well,
I'm pumped.
We just got done with our live stream over on our redraft channel. We were reacting to every pick. And let me tell you, the Penix pick, I still can't wrap my head around everything. I was speechless for 4 minutes straight. I just did not know what to say.
I don't think anyone knew what to think. And I think we're still trying to understand it. We're still trying to understand why this is going to happen. By the way, I just got Kirk Cousins' contract on Spot Track. He doesn't have an out until after 2026.
Yes, but if you look at his dead cap, okay, let's have a look at this. If you look at
cap is 90 million in 24. This year, 25 is 65 million. And in 2026 is 25
million. He has
million.
No guaranteed salary after the year 2025. No guaranteed salary whatsoever after the year 2025. So clearly this team is like, here's my opinion on the matter. I think this new staff came in and said, hey, we cannot start the year with Desmond Ridder as our quarterback. It is not possible. We like some of these quarterbacks in the NFL draft. Let's sign Kirk Cousins no matter what, so we don't leave ourselves in a terrible position. We signed Kirk Cousins. I'm sorry, you only make this pick for Michael Penix if you love Michael Penix. You do not take Penix at 8 unless you love Michael Penix and unless you think he is the future of their team.
On the flip side of that, genuinely, why, if you did your research before you signed for Kirk Cousins on Michael Penix, I'm pretty sure they have the scouting department saying, who is these quarterbacks? And you're telling me you give Kirk Cousins $100 million in 4 years, and you're still going to take a quarterback top 8. That is a terrible front office decision, in my personal opinion. You're not. That's like, what the hell are you doing?
I get it. But that's why I think
it does not make sense.
When this team came together, they said, look at the state of the quarterback room across the NFL. How many teams last year were having second, third, fourth string quarterbacks start for them? Plenty of teams. You might disagree with
Rattler in the fourth round.
I understand. You might disagree with what their decisions were, but clearly when they came together as an organization, new staff, new coaching, they said, we're getting Kirk Cousins, and if we can somehow get Penix, we're doing it because Penix is our future. We are not going to be a franchise without a quarterback. That's what they decided to do.
If they're saying Penix in the future,
I'm not telling you it was the wrong decision. That is what they decided to do, and it's a clear indication to me that if you take a quarterback top 10, he's the future of your team. Kirk Cousins does not have the 4-year contract that we thought he did. His time is shorter.
I still think a $25 million dead cap for the Falcons on that year is pretty significant, though. Am I wrong there?
Sure.
Or am I overthinking?
I mean, no. I think they would do that pretty easily.
That's not a walk in the park there for.
Okay, here's the issue. We always make up how difficult cap is, how little cap someone has, how they won't be able to sign X player, and every year a team gets around the salary cap. The salary cap is a joke. Let's be honest. It's a joke, honestly.
Sure.
And we said a year ago there is no scenario in which the Broncos can get out of Russell Wilson's contract. But they did. So, I don't know. All I think is that they wanted to make sure that they had no opportunity to be without a good quarterback. And clearly, they only make this pick. This is where I'm settling on. They only make this pick if they think Penix is a star in the future of their team.
Sure. And that makes us look. Someone makes a good point. What happens if Kirk Cousins takes him to the playoffs?
That's fine. Aaron Rodgers took the Packers to the playoffs.
Aaron Rodgers is a Hall of Fame quarterback.
Exactly, which means that you would think Kirk Cousins has even less leeway.
Sure. I completely agree. And Aaron Rodgers, I think comparing Aaron Rodgers and Jordan Love sitting behind Aaron Rodgers is completely different because of what Aaron Rodgers has done. He's a Super Bowl winning quarterback that has been the face of that franchise for literally over a decade. So like now I understand sitting behind Aaron Rodgers and learning from Aaron Rodgers and rather sitting behind Kirk Cousins are two completely different things. So I'm not discrediting Michael Penix at all. I'm not discrediting Kirk Cousins at all. I'm really trying to understand what the hell the Falcons doing. If
me, as someone who is willing to draft Penix in a rookie draft, we'll talk about this. You're 100% right. Jordan Love and Aaron Rodgers is not a good situation to compare because guess what? Kirk Cousins is going to win it. He's not going to win an MVP. Kirk Cousins has way less leash than Aaron Rodgers did when they drafted Jordan Love.
What's that leash?
Way less leash.
One playoff win. The leash is a little bit extended.
Who's to say they make the playoffs anyway? But if they do make the playoffs, so did Aaron Rodgers. This is what I'm trying to say. You have way less leash when you're not behind a Hall of Fame quarterback. He's a first-round quarterback, and you're telling me at some point... Okay, do you think Penix will be the starter at some point? I don't care when you think it is. Do you think he will be?
I mean, he has to be. He'll be on the team for the next 4 years.
If I told you one of these rookie quarterbacks was going to be able to throw to Drake London, Kyle Pitts, and Bijan Robinson...
By the time he's on the field...
I'm waiting a year. I am waiting a year for that.
By the time he's on the field, Drake London and Kyle Pitts are probably not on this team.
There's no... How does that make any sense?
Because
they cut Kirk Cousins so they can sign these guys and get a rookie quarterback contract.
So they cut Kirk... They cut... The only way that makes sense if they cut Kirk Cousins... only way.
If Michael Penix is their starter at some point, are they keeping Kirk Cousins on their bench as a $25 million player per year?
Sorry, say that again.
If Michael Penix is their starter at some point, Cousins is going to be cut. You're not going to keep that guy on that contract on your bench.
I can understand, but like still, nothing makes sense. Still, even as we're arguing,
I get it doesn't make sense. I'm saying we should not be out on Michael Penix as an option in rookie drafts.
Sure, and my argument is, how do I need to sit 3-4 years for him to be on this team when now I could be taking an Xavier Worthy that's playing with Patrick Mahomes. Now I could be taking a Brian Thomas Jr., which we'll get into as we get into this mock draft. Because I think that is the biggest conversation.
Here's my rebuttal. Do you think, and I know we all think the Atlanta Falcons are crazy, I wouldn't have done this move, you wouldn't have done this move, right? Okay,
sure, yeah,
let's all agree.
100%.
Weird move, doesn't make sense. But do you think they did not scout Michael Penix and understood he was 24 years old? Clearly they knew that when they drafted him. Clearly, they're not going to wait until he's 28 to start him. That narrative makes no sense at all.
They're going to wait until he's 26 to start him, and then realize that they drafted an old quarterback that only is going to be 27 the year after they figure out he's either a bust or the guy.
But they made the pick because they had conviction to draft him in the top 10. You're telling me there's no chance he even starts this year? Bullshit. This team is 7-7, and Kirk is playing.
Sure.
You know, if Kirk Cousins is top 20 quarterback.
Playing well. If Kirk Cousins is not playing well, I completely agree. 100%. I completely agree. I understand. If Kirk Cousins is not playing well, Michael Penix does have a chance to go to play this team. But at the same time, you cannot.
See, this is what I don't agree with. I love you, Trent. But zero chance he plays until 2026. We're giving Penix 0% chance. That's crazy. This is my problem. People are saying he's off my draft board. There's no way I'm drafting him. Zero chance, man?
My biggest argument in this, I'm not saying Michael Penix is not a first-round pick. How high, even though he's a top 10 pick in the NFL draft, I am not sure at this very moment, and we'll probably have more understanding in a week or two from now. At this very moment, I can't tell you that I'm taking Michael Penix over Xavier Worthy. I can't tell you that I'm taking Michael Penix over Brian Thomas Jr. I can't even tell you if I'm going to be taking, hypothetically, Michael Penix over Adonai Mitchell if he goes to the Buffalo Bills. Insert a wide receiver to that Buffalo Bills offense with that 33rd overall pick in the second round. I'm not sure if I'm taking Michael Penix then.
Okay.
Still.
Let's think about it in a different light then, okay? Yeah, there's no way he's going to play until 2026. Kirk is safe. Guys, you know how many people lost their starting quarterback last year? This is hilarious to me. Okay, yeah, Aaron Rodgers, injured. Okay, Tua Tagovailoa, injured multiple times. Not this year, but the year before. Deshaun Watson, franchise quarterback, injured. Kenny Pickett for the Steelers, injured. Anthony Richardson for the Colts, he got injured. Ryan Tannehill for the Titans, he got injured. I mean, should I keep going? Justin Herbert for the Chargers, he got injured. Daniel Jones for the Giants went down with an injury. I mean, like, we're crazy talk. Kirk Cousins himself with the Vikings went down with an injury.
Respectfully,
Kyler Murray just a year ago went down with an injury. Matthew Stafford went down with an injury. Geno Smith did not play the entire year.
Quarterback. You do not draft a back. And I'm saying he's not a backup quarterback, but I get that argument. But you don't draft a backup quarterback in the top 10 pick. You just don't.
Exactly. Exactly, brother. Now you're seeing the light. You've come to the light now.
I'm at the light, but it's still wrong. Spencer Rattler in the third, fourth.
It doesn't matter now for us to decide if it was right or wrong for them. We won't know for a couple years.
You get Gardner Minshew. Like, who cares? Get somebody else. You don't spend a top 10 pick in one of the best NFL draft classes where you could have potentially got a Dallas Turner. You could have got a Quincy. You could have got an offensive lineman. You could have got another wide receiver, and you take a 24 non-mobile, injury-prone Michael Penix Jr. After you just paid Kirk Cousins, you are not you specifically, but the Falcons are absolutely stupid.
And here's where I'm trying to get to, everybody. We all agree we wouldn't have done this if we were Atlanta, but we cannot change what's already happened. Okay? We can't reverse time. That technology doesn't exist and go into Atlanta's room and kidnap the GM. We can't do that. We have to now assess it. Okay? And I do not believe that the Falcons, even though it seems stupid right now, decided to draft Michael Penix and let him sit his rookie contract. He will play at some point, and there's definitely not a 0% chance he doesn't play until 2026. But at minimum, if you're telling me I have to wait 2 years or a year, somewhere in between there, to draft a quarterback who gets to throw to Drake London, Bijan Robinson, Kyle Pitts, I will wait. It's the same thing I was preaching with Jordan Love when he was drafted. And you know this damn well, Badaki. Jordan Love was my guy. I had him everywhere. We were waiting patiently. That worked very well.
What's the difference? What's the difference?
Tell me.
The age. And he was sitting behind Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers was old as fuck. So is Kirk Cousins.
I get that. I understand. And Kirk Cousins, I guess, basically.
And why are we using age as an argument for quarterbacks who are in their early 20s? He's going to be 24. Okay. Quarterbacks can play until they're 35.
Sure. I'm not disagreeing. I'm just saying if Kirk Cousins actually, let's just say Kirk Cousins, look, let's paint a different picture here. The Atlanta Falcons aren't going to give Kirk Cousins $100 million in 4 years to only give him a 1-year leash. That is the stupidest thing. If that is truly the case, you have to give Kirk Cousins.
Okay, if you believe that's true, you're completely ignoring that they just drafted a quarterback in round 1. Both of these things can't be true. I'm getting
to my point. You don't pay Kirk Cousins $100 million, and you don't
draft the quarterback in round 1, top 10.
That is stupid. You are dumb as a
We
as a
agree.
GM.
We still agree. We still agree.
That is the stupidest thing I've think about it now. The Falcons are in front of everyone right now. They're like, okay, $100 million, Kirk? Cool, but we're also going to take you right now. Okay, so it doesn't make sense, Zach. It doesn't make sense. Anyways, at the end of the day, is Michael Penix a first-round pick? With all these picks right now, I'll be honest with you, he's getting pushed down by board.
And that's fine, and you're going to miss out on potentially a very good fantasy quarterback in a great situation.
And same thing with the wide receiver in a great situation.
Yes, but you are going to miss out on a wide receiver. But what, are you going to take Xavier Legette? You think Legette's going to be a better pick right now than?
I'm absolutely not. I'm not talking about Xavier Legette. I'm talking about Xavier Worthy.
Okay.
I'm talking about Brian Thomas Jr. I'm talking about hypothetically Ladd McConkey and/or Adonai Mitchell going to the Buffalo Bills in the 33rd pick. That's where I think the Bills are going to go, by the way.
Last thing I'll say on this is Kirk Cousins gets injured week 5. Everyone who let him fall out of the first round, you're going to be looking like an absolute clown. No disrespect.
Kirk Cousins goes to the NFC Championship. Michael Penix is a joke.
Sure, because the Falcons are going to get to the NFC Championship. But anyway.
With the talent, they should. In the NFC South?
Even if I have to wait 2 years on Penix, I will wait 2 years on a first-round pick in the top 10 connected to incredible weapons. I'll wait. I got no problem waiting. So you're painting the worst-case scenario, and it does not bother me.
And you're painting the best-case scenario, and that does bother me.
Okay. And I guess we're not going to agree on this. No surprise.
No surprise. That's okay.
We appreciate you guys for joining us. I didn't even think it would get that heated, but it did. I mean, it is what it is.
It wasn't heated. It's just I'm heated for the Falcons. I'm heated. I'm not even a Falcons fan. That's what I'm heated about.
I'm just annoyed at people who are saying he's off their draft board. I'm not taking him no matter what. There's no scenario I'm taking him. It's silly. I
disagree with. I disagree with for sure. Everyone is going to be shitting themselves when Michael Penix is on the board, and you got to either choose from Michael Penix or Xavier Worthy.
Something that none of you guys are talking about is you don't even know if Michael Penix is going to be a worse quarterback in camp than Kirk Cousins this year. None of you know that. Last thing I'll say. Do us a favor. As the stream is starting, go ahead and smash that like button. Simple way for you to help this channel grow. There are over 400 of you in the chat. Listen to us talk a bunch of nonsense. We already have over 100 likes. Let's set the like goal as 250 likes. If we can get there, that would be absolutely chaotic.
400, come on.
250 is our like goal. Smash that like button. There's still so much to talk about, and we're going to dive into all of it. We're going to record some content for you guys right after this stream and release it for you when you wake up tomorrow. We're going to update rankings. We're going to talk about winners and losers of round one. There will be so much for us to talk about. But if you want to get in today's mock draft, it's very simple. How do they get in today's mock draft, Badaki?
Yeah, guys, join our Discord. Link is in the description, and link is going to be in the chats, okay? If you want to join each and every one of our mock drafts that we have here on our DynastyLand channel, and if you are here with the first time, and maybe you're a lurker, drop a subscribe, join our Discord. Okay, go to the Fantasyland tab with the orange footballs, then go to content releases. That's how you can join each and every mock draft. We're going to be mock drafting essentially all weekend with you after each and every round, just so we get a land of it until the NFL draft is over. And then you're going to be seeing some real NFL rookie mock or rookie drafts with us here. So once again, join our Discord, link in the description below, link in the chat, Fantasyland football, Fantasyland tab with the orange footballs, go to content releases, and I'll send that link out here right now. It is first come, first serve, by the way, so keep that in mind.
I don't want to keep going on the Penix thing, but I wholeheartedly disagree, Trent. I wholeheartedly disagree. I'm sorry. If Penix is...
What's Trent saying?
That is not the way an NFL team runs. Okay? An NFL team is going to get whatever the best player on their team is to give them wins. Everyone's fighting for their lives every week. If Penix is the better quarterback for them, Penix will play. You don't believe me? How about the Seahawks who drafted Russell Wilson a decade ago? They just signed Matt Flynn to a big contract. Did they let Matt Flynn play because they had the big contract? No. Who gave them the best chance to win? It was Russell Wilson. I'm not saying Penix will be the better quarterback. I'm saying if Penix is the better quarterback for them in camp and gives them the best chance to win, he's going to play. These coaches do not care about money. They want to win every week.
Arthur Smith cares about money.
That's fine. Arthur Smith isn't making the calls for
GM is gone. Lineups. Goodbye. I'm about to look up the Falcons GM because he's gone after this year. I absolutely guarantee it.
I agree. The money is irrelevant. But look, clearly some people are saying I'm crazy. Some people are agreeing. And that is the nature of Dynasty football. We got people who agree, people who disagree. Let's recap round one really quickly. And then we will go ahead and start this thing off, and we'll have a really, really fun stream, a lot of fun conversations. Caleb went to the Bears. We know this. My guy Daniels to the Commanders. Drake May goes to the Patriots. Where will he fall? Marvin goes to the Cardinals. Malik, my boy, to your Giants.
Talk it up.
Michael Penix to the Falcons. We haven't talked about that, have we? Roma Dunze to the Chicago Bears. J.J. McCarthy to the Vikings. How far will he go upwards? And shout out to the people who said we were idiots for falling into the, what do they call it? The J.J. McCarthy hype. He was always going round one. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. Bo Nix to the Broncos. We predicted that. Brock Bowers to the Raiders. We hate this, but we'll talk about it.
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
And then there was a big gap between that and Brian Thomas Jr. to the Jags, Xavier Worthy to the Kansas City Chiefs, Ricky Pearsall to the 49ers, Xavier Legette to the Panthers. Those last two picks were definitely surprises. I think we liked those players. I don't think we expected them to get into round one. I really don't think we expected that at all. But let's go ahead and start. Here we go. Superflex, PPR, tight end premium. Superflex, PPR, tight end premium. Mock drafting with you guys. After round one, the chaos is sure to ensue. Caleb Williams was my consensus 101 in his own tier before the draft. I think he still stands there. Now he adds Roma Dunze. I mean, how can you not take Caleb 101, even if you need a wide receiver? I just don't see how you skip on him.
Sure. I think it all depends on some people. I think some people love, Kyler Murray linking up there. There goes Malik Neighbors at the 104. Kyler Murray and that Martin Harrison Jr.'s link up there. So that's going to be very interesting. I think we're going to see Neighbors full as well, personally. I said this before. I do believe in our live stream when we were watching the NFL draft, I do believe we're going to be seeing some people take J.J. McCarthy over Malik Neighbors because of that landing spot. Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, T.J. Hawkinson, and people don't like Malik Neighbors, or people don't like the landing spot where Malik Neighbors went to with the New York Giants here. And J.J. McCarthy going at the 105. This is consensus for me in my personal rankings. And Drake May, I personally have Drake May over J.J. McCarthy. But hey, anything could
so Drake
potentially
May
happen
falls
here.
to the 106. And you and I were preaching this for the last 2 months. And we said, guys, normally every single draft cycle after the combine, your late first loses value from after the combine to the NFL draft. But we said this year feels different. We wholeheartedly believed that this year, your late first were going to gain value for the first time in a long time. Okay? And ultimately, that was the case. Your first round picks gained value big time. Now, first 6 picks, you got a quarterback who was drafted 3rd overall in Drake May, a prospect that we all love. You got JJ at the 105, and now you're up at the 107 with a difficult decision to make here. I'm curious to see where you're going to go.
It is a difficult decision. I can go with the best available wide receiver, or I can go with the quarterback that gets the first overall draft capital here to a team that I feel like he's going to start day one. When we were talking on our live stream, someone didn't bring up Roma Dunze has gotten the JSN treatment, or got JSN'd, right? Because he's going to an offense with DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, Cole Kmet, the list goes on. That that expectation is probably going to be lowered for year one. But Bo Nix goes to the Broncos, and I'll put it here. I'll take him at the 107. Getting a quarterback in the top 12 to a team with Sean Payton. It may not be consensus for a lot of people, but it's a conversation we need to have for Roma Dunze. How we feel about Roma Dunze going to the Bears, because I think we can kind of understand.
It's a tough call.
It is a tough call.
I
love the talent.
Yeah, I would still probably have a Dunze over Bo. It's very close. It is a super flex format. You can't really make draft capital as an argument because they both went very close to each other. I think I still go Rome, although I do think I'd have to lower expectations a lot. Ultimately, if I'm honest with you, if I have the 107, I'm trading back. You want to make the decision for me? All right, give me the 108 in a second, So ultimately, I think I would still go Roma Dunze, but I agree. There is a very limited opportunity for him to break out in his rookie year. This is not going to be a Jamar Chase rookie year, a Justin Jefferson rookie year, Puka Nacua rookie year for Roma Dunze, because you are now battling with 2 wide receivers who have been alphas their entire career. 2 guys in Keenan and DJ Moore who have led their team in target share for 3, 4, 5 years. 2 guys who have over 140 targets 3, 4, 5 years in a row. And by the way, something that people aren't even mentioning is you're relying on a rookie quarterback to produce for you. I know we all saw CJ Stroud do it last year, but it is more likely than not that a quarterback as a rookie does not produce fantasy relevant wide receivers. What CJ did last year is an outlier. It is not common. There are far more examples of rookies struggling in year one rather than producing really relevant wide receiver. So I get it. It's a tough decision to make there with Rome Odunze, but I think I might bet on the talent long term there. It's tough.
Sure. It is a tough call. And now you're at the 110 here, which I would say could also be a tough call depending on how you rank these guys.
Very tough call, honestly. I would have taken Penix if he was there. And by the way, I think it should be said, I'm not sitting here claiming Michael Penix should be a top 5 pick. I'm not claiming he should be a top 7 pick. I have him ranked as my 9th overall player. What I disagree with is people who are not going to take Penix in the first round at all. Yeah. I think it's silly.
Sure. 100% agree.
So let's be honest. The 3 players I'm deciding between right now is Brian Thomas Jr., Xavier Worthy, and Brock Bowers. That's a decision I have to make. It's a tight end premium
20 seconds
format.
on the clock.
So that does make me think about Brock Bowers a little bit more. However, I would still think Brian Thomas Jr. is in a different category when I evaluated their film and just overall. I'm going to take Brian Thomas Jr. I think he has a easier path to a breakout than Worthy. And I know a lot of people might disagree with me there, but I think Brian Thomas Jr. has a much easier path to a breakout in year 1. He's competing with Christian Kirk, who's going to be primarily a slot receiver. Gabe Davis has never gotten over 100 targets in a single year. He's never had over 1,000 yards in a single year. This is just a big play threat here and there. Brian Thomas Jr. has a clear chance to connect with his young quarterback, to create a chemistry, and I think to break out in year 1. Not to say that Worthy doesn't, but I'm more concerned about competing with Kelsey, Hollywood, Rice than I am with Kirk, Ingram, Davis. And I get it. You get to play with Patrick Mahomes versus Trevor Lawrence. Some people aren't sold on Trevor Lawrence. It's a tough call. Like I said with the 107, 108, I'd like to trade down from the 110 to the 111 and get a second-round pick if that's possible and have someone make the decision for me. But ultimately, I think I would lean Brian there. Really, really close, though. Really close.
Yeah, I think it is really close there with Xavier Worthy, Brian Thomas. I currently have Brian Thomas over Xavier Worthy, but I do picture myself moving him over Brian Thomas Jr. because if Rice gets suspended for a couple games or however long, and then Hollywood is not the role that we all expected, Travis Kelce could potentially retire. Now, this is a longer play, no question. When it comes down to Hollywood being gone for a year, Travis Kelce was on the verge of quote unquote retiring this year with all the reports. Because if both of those guys are gone in 2025, Xavier Worthy is right back up there with Richie Rich and Rashee Rice. So right now I'm contemplating. I do have Brian Thomas over, but I think Xavier Worthy can easily be moved up to the 110 or be taken at the 110 there. Where you were
totally. I think you could go Worthy or you could go Brian Thomas. I don't have a problem either way. I just think year 1, we talk about this a lot. Who has a chance to break out year 1? I mean, that's why people are hesitant about Odunze. That's clearly why Penix has fallen. So you have to think and you have to ask yourself in 1 year from now, who's going to be the more difficult player to trade for? So I get it. It's a tough thing. So that's the end of round 1. Bowers falls to the 111. You and I were skeptical that he would go top 10. And
gosh, this is
I do worst. Think we could be overthinking the Bowers situation a little bit.
Okay.
I don't understand why they drafted Michael Mayer and then Bowers in back-to-back drafts. Makes no sense to me. Rest in peace, Michael Mayer. No breakout is incoming for him. But I think there's a way where maybe they view it as just using him all over the field, rather than just a traditional tight end in line. Which is what Bowers was probably going to be anyway. But I think they might view him more as a weapon rather than, a true tight end, inline tight end for them, which would make sense. And the reason it's a little confusing is because there's no quarterback that you can rely on long term. That's a big problem. We can't pretend it's not. And you still have to compete with Adams as a rookie, as well as a very competent Jacoby Myers. So it's a little messy, but
the only exciting part about this is the offensive coordinator in Luke Getsky. I know he came from the Chicago Bears. I was a big believer in Brock Bauer. In Cole Kmet, and he was a touchdown machine for the past 2 years. Obviously, they didn't have DJ Moore. They had DJ Moore last year, and the year before they didn't have DJ Moore. It was him and Darnell Mooney with Justin Fields. So there is hope at the end of the tunnel for Brock Bowers, but still, when you look at this this draft and this talent that went in the first round, I don't see an argument where Brock Bowers is anywhere near remotely a top 8 pick in your rookie drafts anymore.
I don't think you can take him top 8. And
no.
the premium would have to be pretty big.
100%.
In fact, I am taking Worthy over him, I think.
And I think that is the biggest argument here. Like, it's hard. Like, think about it. Brian Thomas Jr. You think of Xavier Worthy, even Michael Penix. Like, what is happening? Like, how can you take Brock Bowers over some of these guys? And I'll be honest with you. Tomorrow, if Ladd McConkey goes to the Bills, if Adonai Mitchell goes to the Bills, I think we could see Brock Bowers fall even more. Genuinely.
Tough call. I don't know.
And that's where a lot of things are going to get mixed up, because there's still a lot of good talent. What if Troy Franklin goes to the Chargers? What if, one of these running backs go to a phenomenal landing spot? We're still not even. We have 12 players that was picked, and we still have first round talent on the board.
Yeah. No,
it's crazy.
I hear you. I definitely hear you. That's the end of round 1. Is there anything we want to talk about before we go into round 2? We will only go 2 rounds deep, but we'll do multiple mock drafts. How about that?
Sure.
Because it doesn't make sense to go past round 2.
Yeah, maybe we'll do 3. We'll do another 2. We'll do another super flex, and then maybe we'll do 1 quarterback to get a feel of the 1 quarterback landscape for everyone out there. No, I think that's about it.
Drake May is going to end up being a huge value in drafts.
Yeah, that's what I was literally about to say. Drake May is going to be a huge value, because another guy. Like right now it's different. Think about Drake May. A lot of people, and I always compare it to CJ Stroud. Obviously, CJ Stroud didn't have the best landing spot, didn't have the weapons. But insert one wide receiver, Troy Franklin, Ladd McConkey, Adonai Mitchell, where the New England Patriots have a top with the 34th, 35th pick in the second round.
Yeah, they have a pick. They are 1 pick away after the Bills. That changes everything, and it probably is not going to change Drake May going over JJ McCarthy, but I think it's going to solidify him being at least the 106. Yeah, they'll be able to draft Adonai if he's there, Ladd McConkey if he's there. I guess Troy Franklin if that's who they want. But the point is, there will be a wide receiver that they can draft there that will drastically help their team. So that is definitely something to consider. That's the end of round 1. Do us a massive favor and smash that like button. I genuinely don't think, Badaki, we have ever had over 550 people on a live stream before. I don't think that's awesome. Ever happened. I could be wrong, you guys. But thank you so much for helping us out here. Our like goal today is 250. If you have not hit the like button, be a friend, smash that like button, help us get to 250 and reach that goal. You guys are awesome. Thank you for the love. And hey, maybe you're hearing us talk and you're like, I don't agree with what you're saying. That's fine. It's okay.
That's okay.
This is a safe place where you can have disagreements. Guess what? Badaki and I disagree a lot. In fact, some people think that we don't like each other at all. Some people comment like, these guys clearly hate each other. No, we just disagree with each other a lot, and that's okay. But let's get into round 2 here.
Yeah, I mean, I think the next thing we can kind of talk about are these 2 surprises at the end of the first round here.
Huge surprises.
Are most likely going to go off the board at some point. I guess to start off with Ricky Pearsall going to the San Francisco 49ers with the 31st overall pick in the first round. One of the first things we thought of, I think the first word that came out of your mouth was like, Ayuk is gone.
Yes.
I think you were kind of...
If Ayuk isn't gone, I don't understand the pick.
Yes, but like it kind of makes sense. Okay, you draft the wide receiver who you love in the first rounds, but at the same time, was Ricky ever going to get back to them in the second round if they really liked him, and if they trade away Brandon Ayuk to a guy or to a team that can get more draft capital here? I like this pick once Ayuk is gone. Either Ayuk or Debo's gone, and if either of them or either of them aren't off this team by the start of this year, Ricky Pearsall is more of a buy potentially going into next year. If Ayuk then, contract is up, and we'll figure out where that's going to go after that.
This is kind of how I felt last year after round 1, but for Jahmyr Gibbs and the Lions. I was like, I can see the pathway. Right now, I'm not a fan because Swift is there. But if they move Swift, I'll be all in on Gibbs. And I kind of feel the same way with Ricky. If they move on from Brandon Ayuk, which makes a lot of sense, I can easily see Ricky not filling those shoes completely, but being an important part of that offense moving forward. So Ladd McConkey goes at the 201. I guess Brizzleton is betting on that being the pick of maybe the Buffalo Bills here soon. Ricky Pearsall at the 202 to the Niners. Jonathan Brooks, no running backs in round 1, but Rowan is betting that he's going to go in round 2. And of course, we'll be live tomorrow night after rounds 2 and 3 to go live and see what's changed there as well. Adonai Mitchell at the 204, and then Trey Benson at the 205.
Yeah, both these running backs, we hope maybe one of these running backs. Well, both these running backs we hope to go next tomorrow here. I was going to go with Xavier Legette, and that was the next person I wanted to talk about there. The Carolina Panthers trade up into the first round to acquire Xavier Legette. Now, a lot of people don't like Legette because he is an older prospect. He's a big body wide receiver, and he just brings something different, in my opinion, to this offense. I know they trade for Deontay Johnson. You have Adam Thielen. You just drafted Jonathan Mingo. A lot of people are comparing Jonathan Mingo and Xavier Legette. Excuse me. I just think it's different. I think these are two different prospects. I think there's two different players. Xavier Legette brings a little bit more of speed, size, and a little bit of versatility, in my personal opinion. I know a lot of people don't believe in him, but if he falls to the 2.6, I'll take him every day. And I'll say this now, and let me rephrase that. I'll take him at the 2.6 every day until I understand where all these other people go. Let me say that. Because if Trey Benson, and all these guys go after to very favorable landing spots, then he could potentially fall, no question.
I cannot lie to you. There was a lot of receivers I was excited for Carolina to draft.
Sure, 100%.
Legette was not one of the fits I liked for Carolina. I'm happy to be wrong on this. There's 100% a chance I'm wrong on this. But I wanted a prospect to go to Carolina that I thought was a very good route runner, was already established as a route runner, and had other areas maybe, like Xavier Worthy felt better to me in general just because I already know he's a good route runner. Yeah, his hands are questionable, but I know he can get open in the NFL. My biggest knock on Legette was that he has a lot of room to grow as a route runner. He doesn't have a very special release off the line of scrimmage. He doesn't have much technique in his game at all. And unfortunately, that's the last thing I want as a wide receiver who's linking up with Bryce Young.
Oh, shit, I'm on the clock. I'll take Bro Franklin here.
So I'm a little bit concerned, I can't lie, and I honestly feel like this will be a pick that the Panthers regret, considering the other options that were on the board. However, like I mentioned, could be very wrong. I just think that they're going to end up regretting that pick.
And
just my opinion.
Lots make a really good point. Dave Canellis is on this offense. I'm not comparing him to Mike Evans, but does he play that Mike Evans role? He's nowhere near the route running. He's nowhere near that talent, but just a role that maybe you're envisioning that they didn't have that size. They didn't have that speed that maybe the Jonathan Mingo was bringing. Jonathan Mingo was if anything, he's actually taller. I think he's 6'3", if I'm not mistaken, Jonathan Mingo, than Xavier Legette. But yes, I can understand your thought process there. But it's a whole new offense. It's a quarterback that we both believe in. So I'm really excited for Legette. But yes, I would agree in the sentiment that I would have rather loved Lad McConkey here. I would have rather loved an Adonai Mitchell here. I completely understand. I think both of those guys, all those guys, deserve to go ahead of Xavier Worthy.
And I'll be honest, I don't want to be rude, but I don't know that this is all that different from Jonathan Mingo. You could actually make an argument that Mingo was a better prospect. You could make that argument. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's wrong, but he certainly produced more at a younger age. And my issue with Legette is you didn't produce the first 4 years at all, and you're already going to be, what, is he 24 years old when he comes in or something like that, or 23? And you still have so much work to do as a route runner. That concerns me. It would be different if he was like super young and if, he put up this incredible year out of nowhere, but he was a junior and, there's these areas of his game that he needs to improve. It's like you are already a fifth-year senior and you're not a very good route runner. I hate this for Bryce Young because, frankly, I'm not sure Legette's going to be able to separate in the NFL from day one. Just like I said with Mingo last year. I hate this for Bryce Young. And to me, this is wheels up for Deontay Johnson. Wheels up.
Wheels up. Here we go. Get your stocks in, boys.
Liam says Legette is only 3 months older than Mingo. But it's kind of sad to me that we're talking about Legette being older than Mingo, even though Mingo's not the rookie. Do you know what I mean? That's tough. That's tough to hear.
I think Legette is a better prospect than Mingo personally. Now, yes, he is a later breakout, and I think there's things to compare. But I think overall, as a talent, as a route runner, as somebody that I project is going to be higher than Mingo. But look, we can both be wrong.
Yes.
I still like Xavier Leggett. I think this is a whole new offense. I think there's a new page to be turned, right? A new way to envision this Panthers team, and I think Leggett is this new envision for this team, right? Last year, Mingo was drafted by a whole other regime. This is the first offensive weapon that this regime has drafted. This is essentially their first draft pick, and that was Xavier Leggett, and that's probably the same thing to be said last year with Bryce Young and then Mingo in the second round.
Yeah,
so
dude, the amount of people who were all in on Mingo last year and were so excited about it. I mean, let's be honest, their weaknesses are similar coming out. Their strengths are similar coming out. I think you can make an argument that Leggett is a better athlete, but there are still so many red flags that they both share. So I honestly just hate it for Bryce Young. I really wanted Bryce Young to get a Lad, a Ricky. One of these guys I know can separate day one.
I agree.
A Jalen
I would have loved Lad or Ricky or Adonai to go to those teams to Bryce Young because we think they're the better prospect. We think they're the better talent. Completely agree. I would have loved that for these guys. But it's Xavier Leggett, and they have another second round pick. To be fair,
they do, but it would be. I don't know. I guess they could double dip. It is weird that they traded up one spot. Someone mentioned that, but I guess they wanted the 5th-year option. But trading up one spot is a little strange, but they didn't give up much to do it anyway.
Yeah, what did they actually give up?
It was a 5th and 6th round pick swap.
Ah, that's nothing.
Exactly. That's why I don't understand what the Bills were doing here. The fact that they gave Kansas City, Xavier Worthy, their biggest competitor, a weapon like that. I'm
excited for the second round.
I just don't get why they would do that. All right, guys, doing another mock draft here.
Yeah. So, if you want to send that link, yes. If you want to join one of our mock drafts that we're doing here with the community, all you have to do is join our Discord. 550 people watching, guys. It is going to be first come, first serve. If you want to join one of our mock drafts here, join our Discord. Link in the description and link is in the chat. Go to the Fantasyland tab with the orange footballs and go to content releases. That's how you can join each and every mock draft with us today and for obviously forever, to be honest with you. I'll let Zach join this mock draft and then I'll send that link out for you guys here in a second.
Yeah, I don't know where to go here. I want to make a tough decision, but I don't know where to go. I'll go 6.
Okay. All right. Zach's in this mock. I'll send this link out. 3, 2, 1. Yeah, I mean, there's still some hope for a lot of these players, and I think we can see a jumble. Like, if you think of the second round, I think we can see some of these second round talents go ahead of some of these first round talents, just based off of the quarterback play and situations that they're going to. Like, if Lat McConkey hypothetically goes to the Bills or the Chargers, based off location, do you take Lat McConkey over Brian Thomas Jr.? I think a lot of people would have conversations about that, right?
I wouldn't,
because of the situation. I know you wouldn't, but I'm saying, like, I think a lot of people would. I'm asking the community. A lot of people would potentially then see that, okay, Lat McConkey going to the Chargers where there's no one else there. Oh man, I love that landing spot, and the whole new regime. I think a lot of people would throw off over that. But yeah, man,
I would. If the Bills go Lad or Adonai, I'm taking that player over Leggett.
He said Lad to the Chargers. I almost did something.
Oh my gosh, that would be crazy.
Imagine. That's what I'm saying. Imagine that happens. You rethink everything.
Yeah. All right. Superflex, tight end premium, PPR. We're going to go with another round here. And by the way, guys, we will be live streaming real money rookie drafts for this entire month of May. Actually, the first one is like in a couple days.
I think it's Tuesday night. I think it's our.
So if you guys want to see real drafts, real money on the line, subscribe, because we're going to be live streaming them all throughout the month of May, even some of the month of June. Padaki and I are in those. You'll see real trades happening. You'll see real drafts happening, and maybe it will help you decide what to do in your rookie draft. So subscribe. Maybe you've been a lurker for a while. Maybe this is your first time. We appreciate y'all. Thanks for hanging out with us. Hit that sub button to join the fam and hit that like button. We have a like goal today of 250. And we are currently at, a little update, 242. So we are only 8 likes away from 250. So do us a favor and hit that like button. Such a simple way for you to help support the channel. But without further ado, Superflex Draft Round 2 Tight End Premium PPR is underway.
Love y'all. Love. We appreciate you guys.
It is underway.
I guess
So before the draft, I know you and I had a slight disagreement on the 101. Not to say that you didn't have Caleb there, but my opinion was that Caleb is the consensus 101. There's not another pick to be made there because I just felt like it was such a good situation to step into, and I loved him as a prospect. You, rightfully so, like a lot of other people mentioned, I still think Marvin is he can be a pick at the 101. Do you feel any different now that they've added Rome? Do you still think it's flexible? Because for me, it's only solidified, in my opinion, that Caleb is a 101 regardless of the needs of my team.
I think Marvin Harrison Jr. is a talent worthy enough to go at the 101, even with Romaduze being like. I'm just envisioning like the production that you could potentially get out of Marvin Harrison Jr. and that's genuinely like a Tyreek Hill type of production and a Mon-Ra type of production, and the same thing could be said with Caleb. So I think they're both 1A, 1B. It just depends on how you want to go. I do believe he's worthy of the 101 still, in my opinion.
Who do you think is going to go higher in startup drafts all off season?
It's going to be Caleb, no question.
I agree. I think he is still my consensus 101. I think he's in a tier of his own just because of the situation that he's stepping into and how valuable quarterbacks are in Superflex leagues if they hit. But not to say that Marvin won't. So it goes Caleb, Daniels goes at the 102, and then Marvin. You're up at the 104 here. What are you thinking?
Yeah, and I said this in the last mock draft. People are going to push this guy up based off the landing spot, based off the talent around. Now, I can easily take Malik Neighbors here. He went to my beloved New York Football Giants. But I'm predicting the community. I'm predicting your guys' real rookie drafts because people saying, I hate Malik Neighbors to the Giants. J.J. McCarthy to the Vikings at the 104. I think it just makes sense. Now, and would I do this? No. I just did it, but I did it for an exercise for you guys. This is what I believe is going to happen in a lot of people's rookie drafts because of, once again, the landing spot. Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, T.J. Hawkinson. I mean, that feels like a phenomenal landing spot for J.J. McCarthy, and to get him there at the 104, I think people would take that chance.
Phenomenal. Okay, so Neighbors at the 105. If that's happening in some leagues, and I guess you're right, it might. That would be spicy. That would be a huge deal. I mean, let's just talk about Malik Neighbors a little bit. I've talked about the Giants as a landing spot that I don't mind. And I actually really like this for him because I want a spot where a rookie wide receiver can go who there is no question that they are going to dominate target share. And I have no doubts that Malik Neighbors is going to be a 25 to 30% target share guy in his rookie year alongside Wan'Dale Robinson, Sterling Shepard, Darius Slayton.
R.I.P. Sterling.
Darren Waller in his wrapping phase of his career, trying to set up that. I have no doubt this guy's going to be a 28, 30, somewhere around their target share player. He could have 130 to 150 targets in year one. So I get the quarterback play is not ideal, but you guys improved your offensive line, and there is nobody who is touching Neighbors' jockstrap in the Big Apple. So I like the landing spot.
Yeah, I love it. I love it as well. I'm pumped for it. Cannot wait. I might get in Malik Neighbors jersey because fuck Saquon. Sorry, family stream. Family friendly.
Damn, what if Saquon's on the stream and he's just getting into Dynasty football?
You hurt me. I love you, but you hurt me.
But can there be redemption?
If you never win a Super Bowl, sure.
Okay. I'm on the clock here. I do think Drake May is going to end up being a huge value in Superflex drafts. We oftentimes overestimate our ability to understand what a good or bad landing spot is. And I definitely get why Drake May fell this far. But this is a guy who could be the 101 in plenty of rookie drafts. He's that talented. And we got to keep in mind, this team is not done. They got this second pick in round 2. And look at all these wide receivers available. I mean, Ladd McConkey, Corley is there. Franklin, Adonai Mitchell is still on the board. You know, Jermaine Burton, Jalen Polk. Who knows what they do? Jalen McMillan, my guy. So I do think Drake May is going to be a huge, huge value in rookie drafts. Odunze goes next. And then we had Bowers go ahead of quarterbacks who went ahead of him in the NFL draft. We had Bowers go ahead of wide receivers who got first-round picks. Interesting.
Yeah, it is very interesting. Bowers here. Once again, going to Las Vegas Raiders doesn't seem exciting, but Luke Getsky coming from the Bears, I'm kind of talking him up myself now. It is kind of sexy, but I don't love the quarterback play. Michael Penix there at the 109. Going to Atlanta Falcons. If you guys are here wondering about the Michael Penix thought process, please, after this live stream, rewatch the first 15 minutes because we were going back and forth about it.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I know I've seen a lot of people saying, "What do you think about Penix? What do you think about Penix?"
We spent like 20 minutes at the beginning of this stream arguing about it, so there's no reason to argue about it anymore. But yeah, I think Penix is going to be a fun pick to make in the back half of the first round. I am a little surprised. Wow. Okay, so Brian Thomas Jr. comes off the board. We'll talk about this. I don't want to make anyone make a certain pick, but
Sure.
I love Brian Thomas. He goes at the 110. That's exactly where I took him in the last draft. But I will say, if Bo Nix was available, I absolutely would have taken Bo Nix. Superflex League, drafted Deshaun Payton. That's his guy. He loves him. And top 12 draft capital, first round. I think Bo Nix. That's Bo and Penix combined.
Shout out to Bo Nix.
Bo Nix is a huge value there.
No question.
All right, let's ask the chat. Who does the chat think is the best value in round 1 here in this mock draft that we're doing today? Who do you think got the absolute most value out of their pick here? Let us know in the chat, and we will see what you guys think. What do you think, Badaki?
I think it's Bo Nix, no question. 111.
Yeah, I think I agree.
A top 12 pick going to Sean Payton. I think it's exciting that they don't have a second round pick. I think the winners of the draft overall, though, is probably the Vikings and the Broncos not having to move up at all to get their guy. Well, Vikings moved up one spot, but barely nothing. We were contemplating of the Vikings
previous to expectations, because I'd say the Bears are the winners, but you're saying previous to expectations.
Well, yes, but when you think of the Vikings and the conversations around them, like, okay, they're going to give up their 3 first-round picks to get into the top 5 rounds to get J.J. McCarthy. And the fact that they only had to move up one spot, it's crazy. That is crazy to think. And I was kind of on that train. I was like, I don't think no team is going to want to leave this top 5 pick. And every single team in the top 5 or top 6, technically the top 10 did not move. Top 9, excuse me, because everyone sticked and pick there in the top 10, which makes sense to me because you have so much great talent in this draft class.
Yeah. All right.
Crazy.
The people have spoken, and they say the best value. We've got Marvin, May, Neighbors, Knicks, Marvin or Knicks. JCM is arguing against Michael Penix. We've already had that conversation. Gabriel says Adunze is the best value. Thomas, Knicks or Neighbors. Rome at 7. Maserati Marv. Knicks Punisher says Marvin at the 103. Knicks. A lot of people saying Knicks is a great value. Worthy. So a lot of people saying Worthy Knicks makes a lot of sense here. Makes a lot of sense. Hey, by the way, guys, you helped us reach our like goal of 250. That's incredible. Let's set a new goal then. Let's set the goal at 300. We're only 30 likes away from 300. With your help, I am confident we can get there. So do us a favor, smash that like button. Like we said, subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet, and into round 2. Let's see what happens here.
I think this is a huge win because, like, I think let's start from the top here. Jaden Daniels to the Washington Commanders. How about Jahan Dotson? Huh? Jahan Dotson. I think a low-key winner for today. I've been a big believer of Jahan Dotson. I have so much draft capital of Jahan Dotson. You have to hope and believe in this offense with Cliff Kingsbury here and Terry McLaurin that both of these guys should hopefully be fantasy relevant. And how are you feeling about your Washington football team?
Love the pick. Absolutely love the pick. I'm not 100% sold that Dotson is going to be without a teammate, though. I think the Commanders, if I'm not mistaken, have the most picks in the first 3 rounds. So I would not be shocked if the Commanders go...
You think they're going to take somebody? A wide receiver?
I'm not saying they will. I'm just saying I wouldn't be shocked. They had the 36th overall pick. They had the 40th overall pick. And then if you go into even round 3... they also have multiple picks, if I'm not mistaken, at 67, 78. We've talked about how deep this wide receivers class. They have 3 picks in round 3. So
I think
I wouldn't be shocked here. Honestly, if they I wouldn't be shocked if they still added a wide receiver.
I think at least in the second round you guys go defensive. You lost Sweat and you traded away Chase.
We definitely could.
So I think that's probably the biggest need in at least when I think about your Washington Commanders and what you guys could potentially be doing there. I can't even tell you who is the best player available when it does come down to defensive players on this draft or in this draft here. I'll take Ladd McConkey here. That's hot and falling to me.
Yeah, I love that.
So yeah, I mean that's awesome. That's awesome. I think that is a phenomenal pick for you guys. And getting Jaden Daniels in this NFL
absolutely
draft.
Love the pick. Felt great about it. I was saying on stream the last time I enjoyed being a Washington fan was RG3's rookie year, and so it makes me very excited. Look how that turned out. Makes me very excited about what Jaden Daniels could do in that offense. It was cool to hear him talk about how he wanted to break all the rushing records for quarterbacks. He wants to go down as the greatest rushing quarterback ever. All that was awesome to hear for him. I think I'm getting a huge value with my RB1 at the 206. I'm praying we get Trey Benson and Jonathan Brooks' name called tomorrow. I need it.
Yeah.
I need it in my life. I need it
to the Giants
into my veins.
Sure. I think a win for us is be Cooper falling. Now, he's not going to fall to the 47th pick, but I mean, shit, do we trade up and get Cooper or Kool-Aid? That's hot. You got 2 guys. You got Kool-Aid and Cooper. I mean,
the
still available.
Running backs, I could see him coming off at 35 to the Cardinals, 37 to the Chargers. The Panthers at 39 wouldn't surprise me. The Raiders at 44, potentially. Your Giants at 47. Any of these picks could be the first time a running back comes off the board. The Browns at 54, if they want to look at past Nick Chubb. The Cowboys at 56 are an obvious one. And then after that, you kind of have to think maybe the Chiefs, if they love Jonathan Brooks. I know they took him in on a visit. Have to kind of look at round 3, but let's hope one of these guys gets round 2 capital.
Yeah, I completely agree here. And once again, a really good talent on the board for all of these guys.
Steve dropped a super chat.
So much.
And he said, if Buffalo takes Adonai and New England takes Ladd, are they top 12?
I think there's a conversation to go in the first round. To be honest with you,
don't think I could put them in the top 12 because that means I'd have to remove one of Bowers, Worthy, Thomas, or Penix or Nick.
For me,
and I'm not moving any of those guys out for those.
Yeah, and I think the 2 guys that come to mind will be Michael Penix, that would potentially get moved down my board, and then Brock Bowers, because like I said this before, I'll be honest with you, if AD goes to the Bills or Ladd goes to New England with Drake May, that's just exciting. I think if I would say this, Ladd McConkey to the Chargers, that changes more things. So AD to the Bills and then Ladd McConkey to the Chargers, one of those guys are going down, confirmed.
Yeah, not for me, but that's fair enough.
That's going to be Michael Penix or Brock Bowers, and that's just based off of my projections and how I envision both of those guys producing in that offense.
I just can't understand letting a first-round top 10 quarterback fall to the second round for a second-round wide receiver. But I know a lot of people are going to disagree with me.
I get it.
That. So
I
just can't wrap my head around that. But I know everyone has a different opinion. I think we could be overthinking it, but that's just where I'm at.
For quarterback or Brock Bowers?
For not drafting a top 10 quarterback in round 1. I just think we're overthinking it big time. I sent you a link
I
here.
don't-
We'll do a third mock draft.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen. I'll go 5 here. I don't think we. I'll actually go 10. I don't think we've seen a quarterback go into a situation in the top 10 like this. Anyways, guys, if you want to join our mock draft, is this another one? Another Superflex or one quarterback?
This is Superflex.
Okay. If you guys want to join our mock draft here, we're doing another mock draft, Superflex mock draft. All you have to do is join our Discord. Go join our Discord. Go to the Fantasyland tab football or the Fantasyland tab with the orange footballs. They go to content releases. That's how you can join each and every mock draft that you see here today and every single weekend and literally throughout the time that we go live. Okay. So once again, Discord, Fantasyland tab with the orange footballs. Go to content releases, and that's exactly how you can join this mock draft. 3, 2, 1. There you go. Mock draft number 3 out for you guys here. And I know a lot of people are saying similar things. Well, actually, I kind of read that wrong, so never mind.
That's all right. That filled up really quick. But let's get this going again. Superflex. We'll do a one quarterback here soon. PPR, tight end premium. And let's get this going in 3, 2, 1. 60 seconds on the clock now as we start filing through these. Caleb Williams at the 101, Marvin at the 102, and I think Daniels is going to be my locked and loaded 104. Or sorry, 103.
103, yeah.
Just the rushing upside that he has. I said this before the draft. I still think it could be the case. All I'm saying is I would not be surprised if Daniels is the most valuable player in Superflex leagues in 1 year from now in this draft. With what he can do on the ground, it would not shock me.
Yeah, I agree. And Drake May, they're going ahead of J.J. McCarthy, and I completely agree. In my rankings, I will have Drake May ahead of J.J. McCarthy, but I completely understand. The landing spot is hard to surpass. It's hard to not think of when you think of Drake May, but I do think Drake May is the superior talent over the landing spot. When it comes down to J.J. McCarthy, Roma Dunze there at the 107.
Yep. Dunze at the 107. So, yeah. Tough decisions to make. Past the 107, but I think we can all agree that late firsts gained a lot of value this year.
No question.
Regardless of what decision you end up making.
Early seconds have, at the moment, still have tremendous value as well.
Yeah.
With the talent that's on the board there. There goes Xavier Worthy at the 108, and that is the Chiefs' bump in my personal opinion.
I agree.
Going there at the 108, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think there's an argument for Xavier Worthy to potentially going there at the 108, depending on how you feel. Bo Nix at the 19. Now I'm left with Brock Bowers, Brian Thomas Jr., and potentially a Michael Penix Jr. For me, this is easily Brian Thomas Jr. in my rankings currently. Brock Bowers and then Michael Penix.
The guy at the 112 just won the draft. No, people are going to hate me for saying it. Yeah, Penix at the 112. I mean, if I knew I could get him at the 112 every single pick, every single draft, I'd trade for the 112 in every single league.
It looks like you're going to be trading for him, brother. Because I think a lot of people in our leagues are I mean, I think some people will definitely take him in the top 10. But I think there's gonna be a lot of people that take him in the late seconds or
give it to me.
Sorry, not late seconds. Late first and early seconds.
I'll take it. I'll take Lad McConkey here at the 203. It'll be super interesting to see what the Bills do tomorrow. And the Patriots. I kind of would love Lad in New England. We talked about this before. He feels like a Patriot. I think he's exactly what New England needs.
Yeah, 100%. I think he's definitely going to have some opportunity to be successful there if he does go to the New England Patriots. Thinking up there with Drake May is going to instantly change so much for Drake May's stock, and let me not say so much. I think a lot of people are going to reconsider what's going to be happening there with New England Patriots. Did they have 2 second-round picks?
I don't think so. I think it's just one.
No, it's just one. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I think just the one.
Yeah, I think it's just one. Then they have an early third there. Blake Corum off the board.
So it almost feels
Franklin.
like they need to go wide receiver with that pick, to be honest. I know it's
Yeah,
a deep wide
if
receiver
they don't,
class,
it's
but
gonna.
I
If
think
they don't, it's
need
gonna
it.
feel like what the hell is gonna happen here.
Sanders at the 209. It is tight end premium.
Yep.
We don't know where he's going to go, so Charms is kind of, I guess, taking a stamp on the player.
I wouldn't even be surprised if someone like a Roman Wilson goes to the Chargers early second. Like that wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, I could see that too. I could definitely see that.
Just because of the Jim Harbaugh connection, you know. And one of my biggest takes so far coming in was that Troy Franklin was going to fall into the 3rd round, so that's going to be a big one to look out for tomorrow.
Yeah.
Still think the talent's there, but getting a 3rd round capital.
We're going to do another super flex. No, I'm kidding. The one quarterback community is going off in the chat. They're angry. They are furious. We'll do a one quarterback for the one quarterback people. But go ahead and send that link out there. One quarterback I haven't even thought about. Honestly, I'm sorry. That might sound rude.
No.
I haven't even
join
thought
our
about
Discord. One more time, guys. If you want to join this mock draft, go to the Fantasyland tab with the orange footballs. Go to content releases. That's how you can join each and every single mock draft. This is our mock draft for today. For the one quarterback, 3, 2, 1. That has been sent.
But let's give the one quarterback people their time to shine, okay?
Let's see.
Let's let them shine their light as bright as it possibly can go.
Bright like a diamond.
All right, one quarterback, PPR, tight end premium. I have no idea how this is going to go. Like I said, I haven't really thought about it. But that makes sense. Marvin Malik, Rome. Okay, Marvin Malik, Rome.
This is where I think we can see somebody. Let's see.
Brian Thomas, that makes sense.
There you go.
Xavier Worthy off the board. No surprises so far. I'll take Brock here. Tight end premium. I'll take him at the 106. Well, if you wanted Brock Bowers, the price just got cheaper.
The price just got cheaper. Yeah, I mean it could get even cheaper by tomorrow.
Maybe.
I'll be honest. That's what I'm thinking.
Let me ask you: would you rather have Brock Bowers or Laporta's? Obviously, we want Laporta. How about Brock Bowers or Mark Andrews?
I would rather have Mark Andrews right now.
How about Brock Bowers or Dalton Kincaid?
I'd rather have Dalton Kincaid. I'd rather have Evan Ingram.
Ooh, I can't go that far. Evan Ingram in Dynasty?
I think I would rather. I mean, with Brian Thomas, maybe I need to reconsider that actually. What about TJ Hawkinson?
Here's what I know. I want Laporta, McBride, Andrews, Pitts, Kincaid. I think I'm not sure about Hawkinson. I'm not sure about Hawkinson and Bowers, but I definitely prefer. I would definitely take Bowers over Ingram. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I think I would take Bowers over Ingram. Sorry. And who were the other ones that you said? Laporta. Who else?
Laporta, McBride, Pitts, Andrews, Kincaid. I think I'm all taking over Bowers right now.
Okay. I think an argument can be made for TJ. I think that's the only one I would add there. It's probably TJ Hawkinson. I'm not a big Kyle Pitts believer. But I mean, you didn't say Kyle Pitts.
I did.
Oh, you did say Kyle Pitts. Okay.
I'm pretty sure I did. If I didn't, I definitely meant to.
Okay. But yes, I would definitely take. I mean, a big winner right now is Kincaid. If they don't go wide receiver in that 33rd pick, I could be talking history here. What I said earlier about Kincaid just being skyrocketed.
Yeah.
But we'll wait and see. You said you did say Kyle Pitts.
I did.
I think so. I think people are saying that.
Yeah. You know, these quarterbacks in a one quarterback league are going to be impossible to figure out where to draft them. I do think Brooks and Benson shouldn't get out of round one in a one quarterback format, though.
Yeah. I think these quarterbacks will be impossible, and I think this kind of sometimes just solidifies where you can go here at the one quarterback. If you don't have a top 10 quarterback in a one quarterback league, and I think that's going to be more ironed out tomorrow after the second and third round, where some of these guys are going to be pushed up. But I still wouldn't be surprised if you can take someone like a Caleb or Jaden Daniels in the end of the first round or early second if you really wanted to.
Yeah, Steven. Steven says you guys always go early on quarterbacks and we take them in mind. What we've learned, and we say this all the time, is that every one quarterback league is so different. And every one quarterback league person is very opinionated on where they should go. We get people who comment and say, there's no way quarterbacks go this early. We got other people who comment and say, why are the quarterbacks going so late? There's no way they should go that late. So it feels like the one quarterback community is so split on where quarterbacks should go, which makes ADP impossible.
I've always been on the motion of like, you go like the best quarterback no matter what, where some people rather go like the highest upside. Like, for example, that was my biggest argument last year. It was like, I'm still taking CJ Stroud before I did my switch over Anthony Richardson. And people were like, I'm taking Anthony Richardson. It's like, well, I would still take CJ Stroud in the one quarterback because he was my number one ranked quarterback. But people would rather go upside, which is fair. So a lot of people would probably take Jaden Daniels, number one quarterback in a one quarterback league because of his rushing upside over Caleb Williams. I still think you go Caleb Williams because he is the best quarterback in my rankings. Here.
Three
so it
little
is just a
words said thoughts on Penix, and he wants you to show your feet on stream.
Thoughts on Penix and show your feet.
I'll tell you what. I know this is not a cop out. I just don't want to get into another heated debate. The beginning of this stream, three little words. There's like a 20-minute time capsule where we just debate Michael Penix till the cows come home. So if you want to see our thoughts, go to the beginning of this stream because we go hard and we talk about it all.
We do go hard. And best thing to say is, I would just say this: what the hell are the Atlanta Falcons doing? That's probably the best way to sum it up for the both of us.
It's a little confusing for sure. It's a little confusing.
But yeah, it is very confusing.
All right, let's do a quick Q&A here.
Any questions you guys have, or
by the way, just before we
things that
get
we
into the
haven't spoken
Q&A,
about?
we do have some very exciting news for you guys. I imagine a lot of you guys are going to be doing rookie drafts here over the weekend or next week or whatever the case may be. So many of you, hundreds and hundreds of you, have already gotten your hands on our 2024 rookie report. This is version 3.0. Version 4.0 will release after round 7. Okay, the day after round 7, we will release version 4 of our 2024 rookie report, which will include brand new rankings, which will include tiers in those rankings. It will also include historical hit rates for each position. I mean, this is the best rookie report I think anyone's ever made. And obviously I'm biased, but there is so much in this rookie report for you to consume. So if you want to have access to that, it's very simple. All you need to do is become a Mother Flocker member with the promo code LAND. I'll put a direct link in the chat right now. All you got to do is become a Mother Flocker member with the code LAND. That is how simple it is. And obviously our rankings will be there so much. You also get access to a Dynasty team review. Oh, this is new. All right, so a Dynasty team review from us is also available to you. A lot of you guys will have seen us live 3 times a week leading up to the NFL draft, reviewing people's Dynasty teams. If you want your team to be reviewed, very, very simple. Again, become a Mother Flocker member with the code LAND. Direct link is in the chat. We will still do those team reviews next week, and we'll get back into that. Uptown says, Zach, what did you say here? Hold on. Zach, your rookie draft 101 video from like 10 days ago was so good. I appreciate you, man. I can tell you that I put a lot of effort into that, so it's good to hear.
Yeah, it's awesome.
That took a ton of research. And a lot of that research is in the rookie report, by the way. So if you want to kill your drafts, again, Easy way for you to do that. And by the way, you also get a direct DM to us for advice. So there's no reason for you not to kill your draft if you are a member with our code LAND. Let's do a Q&A here. I would say 5 questions. The first 5 questions only. We'll be live tomorrow. There will be so much content on this channel in the next couple days. So make sure you're subscribed if you have yet to do so. 5 questions and 5 questions only. I think the first one is from Nick. He says, I have the 108 in a Superflex League. Is there an argument for Worthy over Bowers there? Yes.
Absolutely. No question about it, in my personal opinion. It just really depends on how you want to pursue that. It's going to be hard to navigate. I'll be honest with you. I have no idea how to go about that, but there is an argument.
Yeah. By the way, we will do 5, but if anyone donates a super chat, we'll stay on for those. I know everyone always wants to get their questions in. So if there's any super chat, we'll make sure we get onto that. But I already have Xavier over Bowers. It'd have to be a 2 tight end premium for me to take Bowers there.
Yeah. Yeah.
They got an update on Kirk's medical, and apparently he's not doing well.
Is that a joke?
No.
Is there a tweet on that, Steven, or what?
Yeah, definitely let us know. All right, question number 2 is from Rogue. He says, in a 2-point per reception tight end booster league, is Brock Bowers worth the 103? In a 1 quarterback or a super flex? Because a super flex, it doesn't matter what the premium is. I'm not even considering it.
Yeah.
In 1 quarterback, I'm still probably not considering it. But it's very close. Oh, a 2 quarterback league? No, not even a thought.
Yeah, agreed.
JCM. I think Chris is the next question. He says, first Dynasty League, I have the 102 and the 110. Rodgers is our only quarterback. What do you think I should do in a tight end premium superflex league? Well, your ideal move here is to trade from the 102 to the 103 and get something in return, and then take Daniels at the 103. And at the 110, you can see here, in some leagues, Nix could be an option. Penix could be an option. One of those guys could be an option for you. Last question is from Nick. Go ahead.
Last question is from Nick. It says, I'm in a 1 quarterback and need a tight end. Is Brock over Brian Thomas, who wouldn't stay on my team, wrong, or do I go best available? Maybe trade for no tight end premiums.
No tight end premium. I think it's not the right move.
Yeah,
but
it's not the right move. I'm still taking Brian Thomas. I think in a scenario like this, I know we keep saying take best player available, but situations in landing spot do really weigh on some of these players, especially someone like a Michael Mayer, someone like a Brian Thomas Jr. Both of these guys do go. One guy goes to a favorable landing spot. One doesn't go to a particularly good, favorable. How can you say it?
Yeah.
Landing spot here. So I think we would go Brian Thomas over Brock Bowers still.
And you should never be approaching a rookie draft with needs in mind. That's the wrong way to do a rookie draft. You're going to end up filling holes instead of getting the most value out of your rookie draft. But guys, we appreciate you big time. Do us a huge favor and smash that like button if you have yet to do so. You guys have been awesome. You've been absolutely fantastic. I promise you there is so much content coming out this weekend for you. Get your notifications on the channel. Subscribe. We'll be live tomorrow after rounds 2 and 3. So join us tomorrow as well. And like I said, if you want your team reviewed by us, your Dynasty team reviewed by us, then become a Mother Flocker member with the promo code LAND. I put a direct link in the chat just there for you to sign up. Not only do you get a team review from us, where we can help you decide what's the best direction for you, you get our Dynasty Trade Calculator, our complete rankings, our rookie report. You get access to a DM where you can ask us advice. You unlock our entire Discord. And, of course, you get everyone else's databases and draft guides on the site, too. But we appreciate you. Thanks for joining.
Man, it's been fun.
We'll see you very soon. All love.
Love.